Well guys, it's a very exciting day because I get to change into aligners 38 after wearing 37 for 32 days, and I am sick of the sight of these. Ah, man. Look at the difference. I don't know if you can tell, but these are yellow. Oh, I'm so glad to see the end of them. Right. Huh. Won't stay on. This could be interesting. Hello everybody, it is good to be back. I'm very excited to be recording another video. I'm actually starting this video from my orthodontist. I'm just parked outside because in a couple of minutes I'm going inside for a pretty important appointment. I'm 14 months into my treatment. I am currently wearing aligner number 40 of 47, but today is actually the last day that I continue wearing this set because a few weeks back I got rescanned, and today I'm going back in here to pick up a brand new set of aligners and I guess have all of my attachments removed and replaced. So it kind of feels like day one again, which is a little bit weird, but very excited to get some new aligners, starting to fine-tune my treatment, I guess, and I look forward to finding out how many more aligners I've got to go. So I'm going to go inside and you guys can join me again soon. I'll see you in a minute. Hey folks, so that was very quick. I always go to these things, you know, with the assumption that it's going to be quite an ordeal, like having all the attachments taken off and put back on and having new aligners. I thought I was going to be there a while. I was probably in the chair 10 minutes, you know, in and out. Kind of used to it now, how quick and simple this can be, but yeah, it still takes me by surprise sometimes. So yeah, pretty straightforward, to be honest. They removed all of my attachments, which was a pretty quick, semi-uncomfortable process. Felt like I was having a load of fillings. It just, you know, didn't hurt. It was just very noisy. And straight away, new attachments went on, and straight away, my new aligners went on. I wanted to film some of it. Unfortunately, they've decided they don't want people filming it anymore, so I don't have any videos to show you. But to be honest, it was so quick, there wasn't really a lot to show. So my original collection of aligners, I don't know if you remember, I had 3 of these boxes. I just got it down to 1 now, but these are now useless. I guess I have to dispose of these. There's 7 left in there, and I've been sent with the lovely bag of new aligners. So the magic number this time is 26. So I've got 26 new aligners to take me to the end of my treatment, hopefully. And I guess it worked out quite nice because I just took out number 40, so another 26 makes it 66 aligners. And yeah, I'm hoping I get through these quicker than I have been doing. My tray changes have slowed right down recently. It's one of the reasons they brought me in because things weren't quite fitting as well as they could. And, you know, during the summer, I had some of my aligners for over a month in my mouth, which was getting ridiculous. So yeah, I'm hoping and praying for weekly changes with these, and if all goes well, could be 26 weeks to the end of this bunch. So yeah, anyway, as for these new ones, you know, they fit these attachments in the chair and they put the new aligners in while I'm in the chair, and I just kind of leave the practice, job done. I haven't yet taken these out, I haven't yet felt these new attachments, and I remember what it was like the first day I got my first attachments, and it was pretty gruesome. Like, the feel of that stuff on your teeth when it's new, it's not that pleasant. It was very rough, and I'm assuming it's gonna be the same, but right now I don't know, because I've got aligners in my mouth and it all feels smooth, it all feels great. It's almost like nothing's changed. So I'm going to take these off now for the first time and see how difficult that is, and let's just see what these new attachments feel like. Okay. It's yeah, it's interesting. I've got attachments on teeth I've never had them on before, including one right at the back. It's only small, so I don't think it'll be a problem. Let's see how we go. So I'm just going to kind of do what I normally do and pull it in the same positions where it's normally the trickiest. And I guess we'll just see if that's still the right way to do it. Would you look at that? One of the attachments has come off with that, which is a shame. But again, pretty used to that now. Oh man, this feels pretty gross. There's bits coming off. What is that? What the hell is that in there? It's like composite material between my teeth. Very weird. This stuff gets everywhere. Slowly breaks off over a few days. At least that's what I remember. Okay. Ah, that's interesting. That's pulling on my back tooth. I've got an attachment on my back tooth. Yeah. Maybe start with this side. Okay. Nothing came off with that one. Oh. There it is. Very weird. It's weird how you get used to this, because it is weird. It is not right at all. Anyway, I'm sure you don't want to watch me swish my tongue around my mouth, so I'm gonna go and attempt to eat lunch. It's not going to be as nice as usual, but I've just got to get on with it. I'm sure in about a week's time I will have adjusted to this and we'll be back to normal. Yeah. There's no words to describe this feeling, I'm afraid. Hello everybody. Hello from Brighton, which is where I am right now. It is the 11th of December. I do apologise, I had intended to get a video uploaded a lot sooner than this, but I don't know, it just hasn't happened. I find I've very much got to be in the right kind of headspace to sit down and reflect on the past like 5 or 6 months and be able to talk to you about the whole Invisalign stuff. And I kind of realised today that I'm at a pretty good stage to share some stuff with you. So yeah, as you will have just seen, I've got some new trays, 26 trays, and I'm now on number 6. The reason I've actually turned the camera on today is because today is a scan day, and I realised I haven't actually done any videos with the dental monitoring, so I'm going to make an effort today to film that little process for you so you can see what that's like, and then hopefully by this evening I'll get the go ahead to change to number 7 or 47, whatever way you want to look at it. So yeah, I'm going to have some breakfast quickly. We're going to do the scan, and then I'll have a chat with you guys about what's been going on. Right. So my first step is taking my phone out of its case. I'm going to grab my cheek retractors and the scan box. I've just gave the aligners a bit of a brush so they're nice and clean, ready to go back in. Alright, dental monitoring. Start scan.
Audio and visual instructions will tell you what to do with your teeth. Place your phone into the scan box and latch it in.
Okay, we are ready to go. Apologies in advance for this super attractive look. Okay.
For this step, bite down on your back teeth and keep your teeth together. Double tap to continue. Bite down. Shift the scan box to one side. Now, shift the scan box to the other side. Back to the center. For this next step, you'll have to keep your teeth slightly apart and scan side to side. Open your mouth slightly and keep your teeth apart. Shift the scan box to one side. Now, shift the scan box to the other side. Back to the center. Insert your aligners. Double tap to continue.
So this dental monitoring thing always kind of tells you to put the aligner straight in. I don't really like to do that with the cheek retractors in. It's just not very comfortable. I also like to use the chewies for a few minutes to get the aligners like seated nicely before I take those pictures. I've never really understood why we take pictures immediately after putting the aligners in, because, you know, we're told to use the chewies so that they seat better. And what's the point in taking a picture like immediately after putting them in if they're potentially not sitting as best they could? So I'm going to put the aligners in now, use the chewies for a few minutes, and then I'll do the second part of that scan. Alright, I think that'll do it. Let's go.
For this next step, you'll have to keep your teeth slightly apart. Open your mouth slightly. We're done. You can now remove your cheek retractor.
We're done. Oh, okay. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. Once a week. It's a little bit more of a nuisance when they don't let you change, because then you do a scan another 3 or 4 days later, and when that goes on for a while, it gets a little bit tedious. Just give the old cheek retractors a bit of a wipe before they go back in the bag. And detach my phone. The last part of this is just reviewing the scan and just making sure the pictures you've took are decent enough. I'm pretty good at this now. I don't tend to make mistakes. So we go next, 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 and send the scan. And that's that. Hopefully I'll get a reply from my orthodontist, usually later this evening. It is a Saturday, so I'm aware they're probably not working. Even so, they do tend to respond even if it's later on in the day. So now we wait. Alright folks, let's have a little catch up. Oh, where to begin? So I last spoke to you guys nearly 7 months ago. I think it was in June, right? And I was just about to move into my van and head off to Scotland, and that is exactly what I did. I left my flat and disappeared in this van for a little adventure. Spending summer in Scotland was pretty awesome. I spent about 8 weeks there and eventually had to come back down to England for a few festivals and things I had going on. But yeah, the adventure is ongoing. I'm still here in the van in Brighton right now, and yeah, it's going pretty well. In terms of Invisalign, there wasn't that much going on during the summer. I was just kind of carrying on as usual, wearing the trays as much as I could, sending the scans to my orthodontist. But further into summer I got, the changes were slowing right down. As I was approaching trays like 40, they weren't really fitting that well. I mean, they felt okay, like I didn't have any issues wearing them, but they were clearly not fitting as tightly as they could. The top trays specifically, and those lateral incisors, which I think are always the problematic ones. I see online quite often people have trouble with those lateral incisors not moving as easily as the rest, and I guess the same thing was happening for me. The trays were a little bit bouncy. Even after 2 or 3 weeks of wear, there was still a little bit of a gap there, and yeah, it got quite frustrating, if I'm honest, because I was desperately hoping to change onto the next and the next, but they kept holding me in the same trays for a while. A little story about that. Trays 37 broke the record because I had them in my mouth for 32 days, which wasn't that pleasant. And it was interesting timing because, as I mentioned, I came back down to go to a few festivals. I went to 3 different festivals and they was all pretty much one after the other, like each weekend. So pretty close together. And oh my god, these trays got some serious abuse. These trays were with me for all 3 of those festivals, and if you've been to a festival, you might know what it's like. It's a bit chaotic. It's not the easiest environment to stick to an Invisalign routine. So there's a lot of drinking, a lot of kind of sporadic eating. There was a lot of periods where the trays just weren't in my mouth because it just would have ruined the experience. I tried my hardest to keep them in. It's been pretty easy actually having the van with me because, you know, I could always come back to the van, brush my teeth, and it's quite a comfortable environment to do so. But there were some occasions I was in a tent and it's not quite so pleasant. You're more likely to take shortcuts or skip on some periods of wearing the trays. So yeah, that happened. It didn't surprise me that I had these for 32 days. And for some bizarre reason, I've thrown all of my other trays, but I kept these because I wanted to show you what a state they were in. And I don't know if you'll see this very well on camera, but they're pretty much yellow. The most yellow trays I've ever seen. Look at the state of those. Pretty gruesome. I only really kept them to show you on camera, so I should probably throw those away now. There's no point in keeping them, but yeah, they saw me through some fun times. 37. I am grateful, but yeah, they need to go in the bin. So yeah, so I was back down in England towards the end of the summer, and it's kind of nice timing really, because with my trays not fitting that well, my orthodontist had asked me to go back just to check in really. I had lost a few attachments. There were some slight issues with the tracking on the top teeth, so off I go to the orthodontist. To my surprise, it wasn't just routine checkup. They decided to do a whole new scan whilst I was there, which was quite a surprise. I didn't think they just kind of do that on a whim, but they did. They was like, let's get you some new trays. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, that was no problem at all. Those scans are really easy. They take their time and it's a pretty comfortable experience. And then a few weeks later, I go back to the orthodontist to pick up my new set of trays. As you know, I've got 26. This is one of the boxes. 26 new aligners to see me through to next summer, I guess. Obviously, when I went back for these new trays, they completely switched out my attachments, which was a bit of an experience. You know, they drilled them all off and glued new ones on pretty quickly and popped these new trays straight on. It was a bit of a surprise because, you know, I'd kind of got used to these previous set of trays. They went on and off really easily, and these ones with the new attachments were pretty hard both to get on and off, to be honest. I've got attachments on slightly different teeth to last time, and I have to be a little bit more gentle pushing them on, and even more gentle taking the top ones off, because they really grab on to my teeth. And I'm even more thankful for my pull tool, because that makes the whole process a lot easier. These new trays are actually really comfortable. I didn't realise how much the previous ones weren't fitting that well until these new ones went in. And you know, they clipped right in, they were really tight, there was no bounciness. That was a really good feeling. I could tell that this new set were going to do, you know, something different, something extra to get me to that end goal that the original set probably wouldn't have managed. So yeah, it definitely made sense to get that new set of aligners, and yeah, they feel good. So yeah, a little bit of time has passed since I got that new set, but it's going pretty well. I've had almost weekly changes. There was just one, a couple trays back, for whatever reason they held me in them for another 3 or 4 days, but then the last tray, it was okay, and I only had that for a week. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case for the rest of this set, and that will see me through to hopefully no longer than summer next year. So yeah, it feels like the home stretch. I can't believe I've been wearing these things for 16 months. So I started the whole process in August 2020. It's now December 2021. A lot has happened since then. Both in my life and with these things, which I'll show you a close-up of right now. Because I've just taken some pictures for TrayMinder, which is the first pictures I've taken for a while actually. Sadly, I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit when I moved into the van and went off on my adventures. Taking pictures of my teeth kind of fell to the back of my mind, and annoyingly I forgot to take a lot of pictures. If I ever do like a time lapse, which was kind of the plan, sadly there's going to be a bit of a gap around summer 2021. But it's not too bad, you know, there wasn't too much movement going on in the summer. A lot of it took place early on in the year, as you saw from the last progress updates. So I'm going to try and take more pictures now going forward. Hopefully I'll have a real nice kind of timeline of my progress when I've finished. So yeah, let me show you quickly then the pictures I've taken today, a comparison between aligner number 1 and 46 or 6, however you want to call it. And yeah, it's pretty good to look at. Here we go. So again, this is a very similar photo, I think, to the last comparison I shared with you. Pretty normal looking teeth now, which is, again, hard to describe the feelings I get when I look at these pictures, because I see it every day and the changes are so small that it's kind of normal for me. But I have to go back to these before and after photos just to remind me of how far I've come. I mean, there's teeth that you can see now that weren't even visible in that first photo, those lateral incisors pushed to the back there, and unbelievably they are now in full display at the front there, making up a lovely full arch of top teeth, which again, 16 months ago it was hard to believe that was possible. 2 years ago I thought it was impossible. I didn't think I was a candidate for this kind of treatment, but man, looking at these photos is just pretty insane, and it just shows you what can be done with this stuff. I'll just show you the other photo with the open teeth. I always try to take one of each with these comparisons. You get a pretty decent idea of where the teeth were originally and how far they've moved now. Pretty good progress. 16 months, and hopefully no more than 6 months left. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I have to update you on. I hope that's been interesting enough for you. I hope that's brought you up to speed with my journey. So yeah, I've got 20 trays left, hopefully. That should take me to June, July next year at the latest. And I very much look forward to that time coming, which again will be a huge lifestyle change. It's hard thinking of like finishing the Invisalign thing, you know, it's part of my life. I live with it. I have done for 16 months. It's really hard imagining life without it. But weirdly enough, that day will come, and I'll be sharing that with you at some point in the future. But for now, we crack on, business as usual, and see these 20 aligners through to the end. So yeah, I'm going to sign off, guys. Expect to hear an update from me sometime in the spring, I imagine. I will try to get another video uploaded for you way before the end of my treatment, hopefully. And yeah, I'll let you know how it's all been going. Okay, thank you for joining me once again. Thank you for being interested. I love seeing all your comments, especially the ones that are like, where's the next update? That's a pretty good motivator, if nothing else, and seeing your comments asking how I'm doing. So yeah, keep it up. Feel free to drop me a message if you got any questions or want to know anything else. I do read them and reply when I get the chance. So yeah, take care everybody, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you sometime in the spring. Alright, take care folks, bye bye. Right guys, it's about 9:30. I've just had a message from my orthodontist. I'm going to open that now and see what they say. It's looking good. Thank you for taking your scan. Today's the day you're ready to start your next set of aligners. Yes. What a way to end the day.